So you want to know how to move fast. I got you, bro. Now what you've just seen was an arrow leap. Now what this does is once you jump and you press the roll button, which mine is C, you will just do a short dash. Well, that didn't look that short, did it? The reason why it was so long is because we did the dash thingy with our melee weapon. Normally if I sprint and jump, this is how it's gonna look like. It's very short and you just stop midair as well. You need to combine this with a melee weapon, which I have movement speed increase on my calibration on the melee weapon. Once you get that, you have to calibrate the melee weapon to 4, and once you do that, you'll just gain that movement speed. To do this, all you need to do is press jump. Once you jump, you just press left click, and that's how you do the movement. Pretty simple as that. Press O and go to cradle. You can combine this ammo cascade. After performing a successful backstab execution impact, you will gain melee damage and you will gain 10% movement speed for 10 seconds. If you are in close range fights, you can just do this, boom, run into the target, hold shift and V, and now you gain an increased 10% movement speed. You don't have to hold a melee weapon, you can have your gun out. All you need to do is hold shift, press melee button or V, and your character will automatically bash into the target. Once you do that, you will gain 10% movement speed all the time. Now if we combine that with the cradle perk movement speed plus 5%, you'll run even faster. If you combine that with rustic pants on your armor, you will run 8% faster. And now in addition, you also have to use Ice D, which is this right here. You can see it has a dish bonus effect plus 10%. It has a stove long-term storage buff, which makes it last longer. It also has a iced treat brain freeze. Iced treat effect basically just makes your duration last longer for your buffs. So if I drank this, I will get 100 minutes of a buff timer right here, 105 actually, see? And what this does is makes me sprint faster after a roll, and it also makes me roll far away like this. But that's not the max. One thing also, you can see that there's a Chef Azarus on the very bottom, but you cannot see the buff amount of it. It's basically 38%. Like if you take a look at my Stardust Chef Azarus Rex can boost the effects of your dishes, 38%. My Chef Azarus right here, it's level 5. To get level 5 Chef Azarus, you need to press M, and you need to find Gravewater Camp, you need to find Securement Salo PHI, and all you need to do is spam the elevator boss where you kill the Mother of Life or the Umbrella. Once you keep doing that over and over, eventually you will get Chef Azarus. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. It's all dependent on your luck. But once you get the best Chef Azarus, all that matters is level 5. You obviously can get max mood plus 40%. It doesn't really matter that much though. As long as it's above 60% or 70% mood, your buffs that you craft will always have high bonus. Now, the thing is with Chef Azarus is that when your mood is low, do not ever press refill here. Do not do that. The way you recharge your Chef Azarus, you just click here and you set it to 100. If it's already out, you can see that the deviation right now is like transparent. That means it's out of the box. So what you have to do is just click on it and press here to take it out, or you can just press U and click F. Once you take it out, you put it back in. And now Chef Azarus is going to stay inside the cage until it fills up to 100 energy. And once it fills up to 100 energy, it will come out again and just roam around the base again. So if you always want to like keep him recharged, that's what you have to do. Just put it on 100. Now if you want to call him out, all you need to do is lower this threshold here below 50, or on 50. So for example, I put this on 50, boom. You can see the energy drops and now he's transparent and he's in the base. By the way you can figure this out on your own is basically if the lower mood you have on your Chef Azarus, the less percentage you will get a boost on your dishes. So if it was 38% right now and it's high mood, that's the maximum. If it had low mood, right here, if it was like 50 or something, then instead my dish percentage effect for Chef Azarus could be around 31 or 28 or something like that. But here's how I basically make my food buffs. You go to the kitchen set, you just craft anything, like let's say boiled water or anything. You can craft anything you want. You can go and craft, for example, 39 securement soups. Craft that real quick, and you're just gonna watch this guy teleport to the kitchen set in 1. There you go. He teleports, When he does this, you can see on the top right corner that this deviation is occupying this kitchen set. That means now you can craft any food buffs you want. And when you craft them, they will have a bonus on it. He's going to keep cooking until there's nothing left to cook in here. Now, what I have to do is I'm going to craft one with my level 5 Chef Azars, the Stardust Ratatouille. So let's do that. We craft one. And now, as soon as it's done, you can cancel out this one by pressing X. You will not craft anything at all. Nothing will be crafted as long as you don't claim it. Just don't misclick the X button. And you can see now, if you hover your mouse on it, it says 38%. Now, if I craft a Stardust Ratatouille without it, it's done. Now, if you take a look at this one, it has the buff, but this one does not have it. So this one is going to be slower than the one I have here. Basically, core buff of the food effect, it gives us movement speed 20% and stamina consumption by 50% when sprinting. Anything that has a percentage will be boosted by 38% of Chef Azars. So that being said, since it's 38%, we will have 27.6 movement speed instead, because that's the base chance, 20%. And 50% stamina consumption will be 69% instead, because of the 38% bonus. So that's why you want to use Chef Azars for everything. Now with the Ice debuff, without the Ice Treat Brain Freeze, you will move slower, so that's why you need to have this Brain Freeze effect. Kitchen set doesn't do anything to Ice Tea, so all you need is Ice Treat. And by the way, since we're done crafting food buffs, all I need to do now is just recall my chef, put him back in, and we're good to go. We're gonna wait until he recharges to 100. The last thing you can do for stamina, if you have no stamina, you can see this one has max stamina 40%, and this has 25% max stamina. And all this is just rabbit meat crafted into canned lunch meat, so it never spoils as long as you eat it. You have to eat this first though before you eat any food buffs, because it will cancel out the food buff, but the stamina will stack. So for example, look at this. If I hover my mouse on here, I have no buffs. Right now we have a movement speed buff on. So if I eat the max stamina, my stamina increases. Boom, look at that. Look at that. And then we get HP boost. So we're gonna eat another max stamina boost, 25%. By the way, Chef Azars doesn't work for the max stamina food buffs. It only works for the core effect. Let's see this one for stamina, and now as you can see my stamina is even higher. Now of course if your weight is 65, below 65 weight you will gain 25 stamina, so that's another way to get stamina. If you take a look at my food buff I have here, there is a max stamina plus 100%, there's bonus effect. Basically this is pristine meat, which I will get into in my next video about taming animals. But basically, with all of these buffs, now I have to eat Stardust Ratatouille again to get the movement speed. So let's do that. Since we stacked the max stamina and stuff, and you can see it still stays. Max stamina 40, max stamina 25. It stays for 44 minutes. And then last thing I need to show you is the deviation. This goes for any combat deviations. And if I hover my mouse on this, it says sinking with it grants movement speed 10% in settlements. My base is not a settlement, so a settlement is a POI. This is a settlement. City is a settlement. Anything that is in a POI, you will gain 10% movement speed. So right now, this is how fast we're moving. Look at this. Look at this. Meow. We're zooming, bro. We're zooming. And then if we combine this with the arrow leap, I broke my legs. Yeah, this is what's going to happen, by the way. You're going to be breaking your legs. So you have to keep 100 bandages in your, inventory. Boom. Now I just do a quick leap and we just fly. Just like that. Now it will not work all the times. It requires perfect timing. You can see it's not working. It's also ping dependent as well. So if it's not working for you, it takes a couple tries. I can't even do it 100% all the time. And this is how far we can roll with all the buffs applied. Now obviously the deviation buff is not available, so I have to go to settlement to show you. So let's do that. And the way you get arrow leap is from a PvE server. If you're playing in a PvP server, well, then you won't be able to get it. The only way to get Atomic Snail is ask in World Chat, and someone might have it or not. Or you can just buy arrow leaps, and someone's maybe gonna sell you. But yeah, there's no way other than playing in PvE server and transferring the deviation to PvP server. But yeah, this is how fast we move. You just bash the enemies like that. You bash into them, and you just roll. And this is how far you're gonna roll, just like that. It's good for loot crate runs. Bash into them and just sprint away, you know, for that 10% movement speed. Now there are some like bugs and stuff where you can teleport to players without the deviation. I don't advise using bugs in this game. The developers take exploits and bugs seriously in this game, so if you do abuse them or use them, you might get banned for 7 days or 30 days. So I highly advise not using them. That's about it for this video, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and peace out.